Welcome to Point Blank. This is your host, Panama Crypto. Today our guest is Crypto Krillin, aka LSD in my coffee. Krillin is one of the four horsemen of the Haven. Excited to have you on Point Blank, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm excited too. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, let's kick it off. Can you shed some light on who Krillin is?
So I'm 33 years old. I'm living in Switzerland. I don't really want to talk about my former job much, but what can I say that would be interesting for the viewers? Yes, so I've been in crypto since summer 2017. I was hooked instantly, despite not really knowing what I was doing. I got wrecked really quickly and then made a fortune back in 2017 with the alt season, and then probably lost most of it during the bear market. And that's where I started to think, okay, I love this industry. I love what I'm doing. I just suck at it. So let's work hard. Let's make this work. And I started from there, and it's really paying off now. So I'm really happy about that. Now, as for the Krillin name, it's pretty dumb. You've probably seen on my feed, I love psytrance and psytrance festivals, and so I was at this Zora festival, which is one of the biggest psytrance festivals in the world, and I was with two buddies of mine, and well, we were like, all right, let's get some costumes this year just for fun. And I don't know, I'm short, I'm bald, I love martial arts. I was like, all right, let's I'm gonna get a Krillin costume. And actually, if I don't know if you were following me back then, that was like quite a long time ago, but until I had maybe 600, 700 followers, my profile pic was actually a picture of me at the festival, dressed as Krillin, high on acid. That was, but well, after I started to gain too many followers, I was like, I can't have this real picture of myself. That's not cool. So, so I just switched to a cartoon avatar, and the Krillin name just sticked, and that's how today I'm known as Crypto Krillin. Yeah.
Outside of that, and now outside of crypto, what are you passionate about?
A lot of things, actually. I love to learn about any topic. So I love sciences. I love gardening. If you saw my biography on Twitter, it says I'm a botanist. So I'm not actually a botanist. Let's say I didn't actually study that at university, but I just love growing shit, and I think it's just amazing to take care of plants. The plants are not annoying. They can feed you. You can smoke them. You can do plenty of things with plants. What else do I like? Well, I mentioned that already. I like martial arts. Used to practice Wing Chun, which is a Chinese martial art. I say used to because with let's say with COVID, I wasn't able to really train for the past what is it now, 6-7 months. Another thing you could see in my biography, I used to be a really hardcore StarCraft player. Play that game for over a decade. But ever since I started to trade seriously, I really didn't get a chance because pretty much until now I was having a full-time job, and let's say when you work 40 hours for your job, and then you probably do as many hours trading, tweeting, charting, it really doesn't give much time for gaming. So
what plants? What do you plant? Do you plant weed, tomatoes, carrots?
All of these.
Cucumbers.
All of these.
Olives.
No, I don't. I don't have carrots anymore, but yeah, mostly vegetables. I got a pretty big garden now, so vegetables, flowers, all kind of things. Yeah.
Do you also play Warcraft, or you were solely
No, actually,
concentrated in StarCraft?
no. Well, Warcraft 2 was actually my first RTS game. That was like, oh, geez, that was a long time ago. I think that was 1995. I love that game. Um,
So do I.
just like Crypto, I was hooked instantly. But I never actually played Warcraft 2 online, so I was just a pleb playing against the computer. I still loved it.
I used to play a lot Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne patch, and StarCraft 2 also, but not as professionally as you sound as you played.
Oh, I was not a professional either. I had a decent amateur level. I just loved the game so much. I mean, if you wanted to get really good, I'm sure it was the same thing with Warcraft 3. Is you had to watch tons of replays, really do a lot of analysis, well, just like trading. And while with StarCraft, the game was just way too much fun for me to spend time on analysis. I would rather just keep playing, even if it meant I wouldn't improve that much.
Yeah, it's just a fun game, a really fun
Yep.
game, especially if you like love strategy.
It wasn't just strategy. It's just I like to keep my brain really busy. I would even say I have some like brain hyperactivity. So the fact you had to be constantly multitasking, StarCraft is pretty much like, it's just like, how do you call that? It's like speed chess, but it's not like turn by turn. It's like super high speed chess in space, and you gotta grow your economy, you gotta manage your army, you gotta plan your strategy, and do all that at the same time, um, while having your hands um, being perfectly coordinated, over 200 action per minute. So that's really really an intense game, and that's really what I loved about it.
So, Krillin, you just quit your job. What advice you have for people looking to make that leap of faith?
Well, enough cash saved up for sure. I've planned. Well, I've already saved like 2 weeks. Sorry, 2 years of expenses. That's just cash sitting on my bank account. I don't even want to trade this, as tempting as it sounds. Uh, it's just not the point. So yeah, you need to have enough cash. You never know how it's going. For all we know, crypto could just could just die next year. It doesn't. Yeah, you got to be really careful about that, especially. I don't know. Let's say if you're 20, if you're in your early 20s, it's fine. You have a lot of time. You can make mistakes. I'm married. I'd become a father in 13 weeks. Um, I can exactly fuck around with that. So that would be the first thing. Second is make sure you've been well, consistently profitable. And it doesn't just mean in the past few months while the market has been extremely good. Um, I decided that I wanted to become a crypto trader when I managed to be profitable during at the end of the bear market and most of 2019, even, and that includes after the 10K drop last September. So actually, winter 2019, which was when most altcoins were hitting new lows. I was still a profitable trader, despite not being able to short altcoins. We didn't have all these altcoin perps to short and find so many short setups easily like we do nowadays. And finally, make sure that you have the right mindset, because let's say it's good to be profitable. It's good to have your enough cash saved, but you gotta love what you're doing. You need to keep in mind that you'll spend most of your days either looking at charts, doing some research, um, trading, and yeah, clearly it's not for everyone. I got my desk in my basement. I got a really really nice man cave, and yeah, I'm pretty sure most people would not enjoy spending all their days there. And uh, let's say if you don't have a perfect risk management strategy, trading is going to be stressful, and stress is not good for health. That's not something that you can do for years without burning out. So yeah, you need to have everything planned out. So it's the case for me now. Now I quit my job like a few weeks ago because while I was at quite an important position with quite some responsibilities, I did have a 3 months notice, meaning that I'd only be really a free man by the end of November. And so, well, let's say that all the nice routine that I've written up and I'm planning to apply as soon as I'm a free man, I haven't really got a chance to apply it yet. So that's really exciting. For now, I'm still juggling between work and trading, which is really exhausting. And yeah, I'm really excited to be really full time soon. In fact, what really convinced me to go full time was during the COVID lockdown. I was working from home, and during April, May, I wasn't that busy at work. So I used to trade more than usual during my working hours, pay more focus, and that's where I noticed my profitability was skyrocketing. And well, at this point, I was like, okay, if I can make a lot more money trading, it's at this point it's not worth working anymore. And then July, August were really incredibly busy month at work, and that's where I was like, okay, let's stop this because it's affecting my trading negatively, and I'm not even happy at work anymore. So it's time to make the move.
Congrats on the leap of faith and being a soon father.
Thanks.
You will have lots of time to hang out with your new kid. Is
I
it
hope so.
a baby girl or baby boy?
It's a boy.
Nice. They're well, either way, they're a handful. Mine is 4, and since I work from home full time since late 2018, like
Oh, that must
it's
be
really
nice.
yeah, it's really cool to hang out with my kid all the time. But
How many
it's
do you have?
I only have one, and
Okay.
he keeps me pretty busy. So, and he's 4 years old, and he's full of energy. So it's a juggle between him and trading and doing the podcast.
Oh yeah, but well,
But I
I
keep
can totally
myself full.
understand that was actually another factor in my decision because I mean I knew I was like really busy with trading and work. It was already hard to manage both. So yeah, it's pretty much coinciding with the birth. It's the boy is expected for end of December. I'll be really free and full time from December 1st, end of November. So that's perfect.
Yeah, sometimes fathers and mothers don't have like the quality time that they could invest on their children. That's one of the decisions of me taking the leap of faith and trying to invest both in myself and my kid.
I can understand.
So, Krillin, how's it's Switzerland doing compared to other countries in crypto adoption?
It's let's say we have a bit of contradictions. Switzerland is openly crypto friendly. I'm sure you've heard about the crypto valley in the city of Zug and the surroundings. Um, Really, a ton of crypto companies are headquartered there. Um, well, you have Ethereum, you have Cardano, and for the most famous ones. Um, Actually, I think crypto.com is also headquartered in Switzerland. Well, I shouldn't say headquartered, I should say incorporated. Um, so yeah, actually Switzerland is possibly one of the most crypto-friendly countries in the world. But in the meantime, now that I'm going full-time, I've been trying to, to find some information. Let's say, how should I pay my taxes? What kind of documents should I provide for, to follow all the compliance and accounting rules? And, pretty much the Swiss Tax Bureau, they don't even know. They're telling me, oh, maybe we might have to, you might have to check with the FINMA. The FINMA is pretty much the Swiss SEC, which is going to take like forever to get back at me. And most likely I don't even want to be talking to them, because I'm just going to trade for myself. I'm not planning to manage anyone else's funds. So it's quite complicated. On the other hand, let's say if you don't want to trade and you just want to be holding crypto, like you would be, let's say, holding gold or other assets, what's really nice is that in your tax declaration, when they try to compute your tax on total assets and wealth, crypto is considered just like any foreign currency. So actually, whenever you declare your wealth, you just say, okay, I own 100,000 US dollars, 150,000 Swiss francs, this amount of gold, this amount of Bitcoin, this amount of, and they have like their tax declaration software, and in that drop-down list, it's really funny because you have a huge drop-down list to pick the currency, and it's in that list you find both crypto, shitcoins, and pretty much every other foreign currency. So it's really fun to see that. I think I tweeted about that like a couple of years ago. I tried to find that one because I posted a screen cap of that tax software. But if you want to become a professional trader, then no, it's not that friendly, and it's it's a bit complicated.
How does taxation look like there? What is the percentage you have to pay on gains?
It really depends, because actually you're ever since you create a company, you could be taxed as an independent trader. So in this case, I would tend to say it's a flat tax, just like in most European countries. But let's say if you create a trading company and you just become an employee of your own company, then your company would just be taxed on its income, just like any other company, right? So so there's no clean answer. I'm probably going to set up a company abroad. So I'm still figuring all this out at the moment. Something else I want to say about Switzerland and how friendly it is with crypto. I don't know if it's still working, but we used to be the country with the highest number of crypto ATMs, simply because Switzerland uses, in Switzerland, train is a major transportation. Like, everyone takes the train all the time. And so we have a lot of stations. People go to the train station all the time. And the machine that you use to buy train tickets, it also has a Bitcoin ATM function. It's limited to a 500 Swiss francs, so that's pretty much 500 USD purchase at a time. But that also meant that pretty much every single small town or village in Switzerland had a Bitcoin ATM.
It's pretty advanced compared to the rest of the world.
The funny thing is, I actually never. I did try to do a purchase. So you press the Bitcoin function as the touch screen. You just write the amount you want to buy. You can just give a credit card or cash, and then they ask you to scan a QR code So usually you just show a QR code on your phone. And the one time I wanted to try it, I don't know if the QR code was not bright enough or if it was a crack on my screen, but it couldn't read it. So I didn't actually make a purchase with these ATMs. But yeah, it's just the idea of it, knowing that you can buy Bitcoin easily in every single village. That's quite fun. Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by PrimeXBT, the exchange that makes possible to trade with leverage on legacy markets from a single Bitcoin-based account. Changing a bit of subjects here, Krillin. How
Sure.
Switzerland has fared with COVID?
I would say not too bad. We never had a very strict lockdown. Now, well, the situation is pretty much the same as everywhere in Europe, meaning that it's better than the US or most countries in, let's say, Latin America, but we didn't really get rid of it either. So I don't know. I guess the next few weeks are going to be really interesting. We see a lot of a huge increase in cases, but at the same time, it's also because we're testing a lot more than before. So it's really hard to put that number in perspective with March. Let's say the total number of new cases every day is actually higher now than during the peak in March, but we are also testing like at least 10 times as much as we were testing in March. So it's really hard to tell right now. I've seen Israel has started a new lockdown now. I've seen some regions in Australia are still under lockdown. I don't know if it's a great solution. I believe China handled it pretty well by enforcing a really, really strict lockdown and wearing masks very early for 5 weeks and being really strict about it. I mean, when you're going to take such measures, either you don't do any lockdown, either you do something really strict, but any half-ass measure in between is going to be it's not going to be really efficient, and it's still damaging the economy a lot. So it does really feel like right now we went through a lockdown, we destroyed the economy, and at the same time we're still seeing a big surge in cases. So it's like we're back to we're back to square one, right? So I don't know. Let's wait and see for the next few weeks.
At least here in Panama, after 6 months today, the quarantine was opened, meaning wise, males and females can go out the same day. And we used to have a quarantine like males could go out Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and females Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, depending on their last digit of their ID. So Panama is being quite
Oh
strict.
wow.
But yeah, we have something like an average way more than 500 cases per day. So I could say that quarantine has helped a little bit, but I guess the best approach that I've seen has been like Switzerland, not Switzerland, Sweden. Like they're
Yeah,
getting
they
close.
seem to be doing okay, but it's always hard to compare. You know, every country is different. Sweden has, I think they have a much well, let's say they have the population density is much lower than other countries. So it's like, you know, if most of the population is in small villages spread across the country, it's like you have a natural social distancing, you know.
Yeah,
It's not
I
like
guess there's
it's
not
not a
one size solution
coincidence.
fits all.
It's not a coincidence like populous cities in USA like New York or in Brazil got hit really, really hard.
So Krillin, can you walk us through your go-to trading strategy and style?
Yeah, sure. So what's the main style? Well, I do tweet a lot about swing trades, but I'm actually scalping more than I swing trade. if you look at my tweets, I usually close my positions earlier. Or sometimes I do take the swing trade I'm advertising, but I will do it in many chunks. So I'm actually more scalper than a swing trader. Now, in the type of trades that I take, I'm really how to say, I would say I'm trading the trend. I'm not trying to catch bottoms or tops. I'm really looking for continuation. I'm really trying to catch continuations. So this is why my trading is also very heavily based on moving averages, because, well, moving averages, they're nothing more than trend indicators. So I just, instead of, let's say, focusing on a single assets like a lot of scalpers are doing, instead I will simply scan a lot and just wait to find an altcoin that is perfectly ripe for continuation. So I don't know if our viewers are maybe not very familiar with technical analysis. What I mean by catching a continuation is I want to have a clear market structure, meaning that I'm looking for a series of, let's say, if I'm looking to long a coin, I will be looking for a series of higher highs and higher lows. So that's what defines an uptrend. And I will use moving averages and exponential moving averages to for confluence and determine my the levels where I want to enter and where I want to exit. A common misunderstanding is people think moving averages are used for crosses. So yes, everyone has heard about a death cross or a golden cross, but that's not how I use moving averages at all. If you look at my charts, I actually use them as support and resistance, just like a lot of PA traders are doing with horizontal lines. And so typically when you have an uptrend, if you want to long, you will want to long a higher low, aka buying the dip. And where I will identify the level where it will bounce, which is where I want to enter, it's always, almost every time, going to be on a moving average support, regardless of the time frame. It could be a swing trade where I'm going to look at daily moving averages. It could be a scalp, a very short scalp where I'm going to look at 15-minute chart moving averages, or it could be day trades using 1H or 4H charts. But every time, my style is really about catching continuations, yes.
What's your overall legacy in crypto market forecast?
It's really hard to tell. Just like everyone has noticed, we were in a horrible situation in March. The Fed printed a record amount of money, and we had SPX reach a new all-time high despite having an economy in an absolutely awful shape. So I don't know, a lot of legacy, I mean, not legacy traders, but let's say in most people's mind, whether they trade or not, or invest or not, well, they think crypto traders are people playing with magic internet money, and they think, well, stocks are related to the real economy, and well, that's not true at all. So to be honest, Trump is probably going to try to have the Fed print more money. If he succeeds, I wouldn't be surprised to see SPX reach 4,000 by the election. If he doesn't, that could be the start of a multi-year recession. So I don't have many opinions, but I do have. What I do is I made a plan for both outcomes, and I will be trading according to my plan. And regardless of what happens, I'll be ready. And that's what I can recommend to our viewers is write down a plan, trade a plan. So whatever the outcome is, you don't get caught off guard and just panic and make bad decisions because you didn't have a plan. Now, whether the Fed is going to print more money or not, well, I don't have a crystal ball, so nope, I can't make a prediction on that.
What about Bitcoin? Where do you see Bitcoin at the end of the year?
It's the same thing. If you followed my feed, I've been highlighting the correlation between crypto and SPX and DXY for a very long time. I've posted a multi-year analysis to compare DXY. So DXY is a dollar strength index. It tells how strong the dollar is compared to a basket of foreign currencies, and well, the correlation is incredibly strong. Like DXY has been doing a channel for the past decade, and like every time you were at the top of the channel, meaning like the dollar was strong, it was a bottom for Bitcoin. And every time the US dollar lost strength, it was a bull run for Bitcoin. It's been amazingly clear. And so I would say crypto is just going to follow legacy markets unless we see some decoupling. But keep in mind that pretty much all of Bitcoin's existence, so for the past 10 years, we've been in a legacy market bull run, and so was it for Bitcoin. We don't actually know what happens for crypto if we face, let's say, a multi-year recession. The last time we had a proper financial crisis was in 2008, and that's actually right after that Bitcoin was created and the Bitcoin network started to operate. So the truth is, we really have no idea of how Bitcoin behaves in such situation. Years, I mean, I wouldn't say personal experience, but years and decades of history show that whenever people are in debt, cash is king, and I don't think that has a reason to change. So we'll see if somehow Bitcoin has an opportunity to show that it can be a true store of value and act like gold in such situations. Then, well, very soon we will know, and that is going to be the real test for Bitcoin and crypto in general. Just add the last word is that while I strongly believe in what I've just said, what is also true is we're entering an era where digital currency is inevitable. We had Facebook try to push their own digital currency. We have China going live soon with their own digital currency. The economy of the internet is absolutely huge. It's a huge share of the world's economy, and it would totally make sense to have a currency for the internet. So that might actually be the paradigm shift that Bitcoin needs, or maybe not Bitcoin. It could be just another cryptocurrency to go from, let's say, just an investment and speculative asset as it is now, which is why it's very correlated with legacy markets, to really go from that to, let's say, a real mainstream currency. So yeah, the next years are going to be really, really exciting because this will be the real test for crypto.
That's a good insight, man. What is the best way to trade with minimal losses?
Well, I don't have an answer for that. Losing money is a part of trading. No, what you want to answer to is how do I trade without putting my capital at risk? And this is where, well, I think everyone knows that actually. It's the answer is obviously risk management. Now, everyone knows risk management is important, but you you're gonna need a lot of discipline to actually make it work. You're going to put your emotions and greed aside, and that really takes well, either a lot of mental strength, either a lot of experience. You probably need to get wrecked a few times. Actually, I still have a lot of entries in my journal that say, "Oh, you oversized that trade. You shouldn't have done that. Or you should have taken profits more aggressively. Why didn't you?" And yeah, I think applying a perfect risk management strategy is difficult. Everyone knows it, but very few people actually do it. I think maybe a lot of people they because they have a job or because they're natural gamblers. I don't know. Basically, they treat cryptos the same way they would well, they would go to the casino. Which is actually quite good for us traders because, well, this might not be exactly a zero-sum game, but well, if everyone was trading and managing their risk properly, it would be incredibly harder for us to make money. So yeah, just like when you play poker, you hope that you have a lot of bad players at your table. Well, it's the same thing here. So yeah, if you don't want to lose money, no, well, sorry. You're going to lose money if you trade. You're going to lose. In fact, most of your trades are going to be losing trades. The key here is you'll be only taking setups with good risk reward and uh, only risk a tiny portion of your capital so that even if you lose 10, 15 trades in a row, you'll still have, well, 80 or 90% of your capital. But losing trades, losing money is definitely a part of trading. If you're afraid of that, most of the time, as soon as your position will be underwater, well, either you'll try to, I don't know, hang on to some hopium thinking, oh, it's going to bounce here, it's going to bounce here, and then it doesn't bounce. And you just get more and more underwater until, well, if you've been through the bear markets, well, most coins actually went down below 90% of their all-time high. So you don't want to end up in that situation. On the opposite end, one thing you should really not be doing is panic sell your position as soon as you're slightly underwater. That's terrible because basically that means unless you caught the exact bottom, you will always be selling at a loss. And the probability of you catching the exact bottom is extremely slim. So you should be very comfortable with seeing your position slightly underwater. And how to be comfortable with that situation? Well, it's simple. Is before entering a trade, you should have a predefined risk, and that's the amount you're accepting to lose if your setup fails and your stop loss gets triggered. And that's it. And if you're comfortable with that, with losing that amount when you're into your trade, then you're never going to panic sell. And that's the key.
Krillin, changing a bit of subjects here within
Please.
crypto. What is this Uniswap madness? You got some Uniswap coins?
Oh, I do, but I've never done any farming or staking, so I wouldn't consider myself one of these apes. But yeah, I did put significant amount of money on Uniswap, up to, I would say, 15% of my total crypto holdings. But it was well, let's say my best trades were in the Polkadot ecosystem. I entered really early in Darwinia, and in well, Darwinia was one of them. What else did we get? Well, more recently, I've entered a lot of Keynesians.
That's Ken.
Yes, Ken. That's
I,
right.
I got some
And
last night.
yeah, it's a good price right now. It's like 4 or 5. I got well, Darwinia is it. The ticker is Ring, but it hits X15 already. So I haven't looked at the chart recently. But what else? What else did I make good money? Well, I could this PAR parachute, but well, it went like X20, but I sold like way too early. It was before we saw all these insane gains. Um, and just a couple days ago, I bought my first staking and farming coin. I'm not sure I want to shield that here because all these farming things have been really like degen gambling to me. You know, I learned how to trade during the bear market. It was hard work to be profitable. I have a good system earning good and stable money, trading shitcoins on Binance, and yeah, sure. Like let's say if you catch some Uniswap coins really early and catch an X100, well, that might be life changing or retirement money. But well, even if you do, what tells you that you're not going to sell it after X2 or X3 and you're actually going to catch that X100 move? So yeah, the risk reward ratio is it's not that good for me actually. I mean, unless you're like really good at this, but I'm not, and I'm not very comfortable trading on a place that does not have limit orders, that does not have stop loss orders. That said, Uniswap's AMM, so that's like the algorithm, since you don't have order books, the algorithm that pretty much makes the trading price. This is in itself revolutionary. So I'm very enthusiastic about Uniswap. I've just never been a full ape. I've never been like fully aping into Uniswap coins. Have you?
Just a little bit. Try to farm a few decent return, but a bit scary. It gives me the feeling of the masternode era, where
Yeah.
you didn't know which coin was reputable or legit, or if it was a scam.
Yeah,
But
it's
try to
true.
get
Like,
my returns as fast as possible.
yeah, it's a good analogy, especially like all the masternode secure coins. Everyone's was copy pasting everyone's code, and you were seeing new forks and new coins every week, and that's pretty much exactly what we're seeing right now with all the staking and farming coins.
Exactly. Uh, I'm very skeptical of the projects. Like I saw Fomosaurus posting something like, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, that 35% of projects in Uniswap had already rug pull, which is an immense amount of projects. So I'm still skeptical of the whole forming thing, coins. It reminds me completely of masternodes. And the best way to approach that is to get in early, fast, and getting out fast. So to reduce the
Agreed.
possibility of rug pull.
Agreed, but then that's just what I was saying is if you do that, and I agree with you, it's a good strategy. Well, you'll never end up catching X100s, or maybe if you do, it will be with a tiny moon bag that you kept after taking profits.
Oh, there's people that have actually caught that, even with
Oh, I'm sure there are. Yeah.
solely trading it and not even farming it. But the inherent risk is there. Like you don't know when they're gonna do the rug pull, or if the market is gonna be able to absorb that whole amount of illiquid shit coins that are out there.
Yep. Well, at least the good thing is, unlike the Masternode era, I would say Uniswap gives you a lot more liquidity. But then, well, actually, that might just be an impression. If you look at the true rug pulls that we've seen, well, it just goes 99. It just goes down 99% instantly. So that might not actually be a great point.
Yeah, well, actually, to enter a Uniswap coin, there's a shitload of liquidity compared to Masternode. Like you try to buy like $1,000 of any coins, and the price would move like 15-20% either way.
Yeah, there is. It's just what I was saying is, at least for example, let's say when you had this rug pull on here on Uniswap, by the time you realize the rug has been pulled, well, you're already fucked. It's already too late.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
even if somehow it could be liquid, if the rug has been pulled, I mean, you've lost your money. It's just too late.
Yeah. And for the ones listening, if you're not in Uniswap trading 24/7, like the risk increases exponentially, because you want to understand what's the sentiment of at least the Telegram group of what is happening within Uniswap. If something scammy happening, or the dev team is not answering to telegrams or DMs, or seem to have gone AWOL, you have a slight idea when that rug pull is gonna come, if you're in that sort of projects. Do you want to add anything to conclude the podcast, Krillin?
Oh well, maybe I just want to give a quick shout out to all my followers, because at first I started to tweet stuffs just as some sort of I would say some accountability record for myself, because I would when I was learning TA, I would sometimes draw a lot of setups on TradingView. I would not always take them, or I would take them but not follow them. Even able to follow the setup myself. Well, there's something definitely wrong here. So let's share the setup, and that will help me to follow my own setup. And well, I guess the setups were pretty good, because my following grew pretty fast, and well, that opened a lot of doors to me. Let's say as soon as I reached 5,000 followers, I was invited in some trading private groups on Telegram, where I met a lot of my best crypto friends today, people I still talk to daily, and discussing setups, discussing my system, comparing it with their system is really what's made me improve a lot. And so if you're listening to this and you're trying to improve, try to discuss with other people, reach out to whoever knows how to trade, and don't just trade alone on your end. That's not how you'll get better. So yeah, meet other people, discuss, get some people tell you your setup is shit, get some people improve your system. Discussion is and perspective as well is key, because you might see things, but someone might have a complete different outlook. Your setup might look great on one time frame, but someone else who's going to look at your setup will actually trade higher time frames, and will remind you, hey, yeah, well, you have a huge higher time frame resistance here, and well, if you had taken that setup, you would have failed miserably. But thanks to your friend who has a different system, well, you just dodged the bullet. So yeah, please form groups, make friends, and that's why I wanted to thank my followers, because well, thanks to the exposure I got, that's how I met so many people that made me the trader I am today. So yes, thanks for following me.
Awesome. And with that, we end our episode. I'm very happy to have hosted Krillin on Point Blank. Thanks for coming on, man. Can you tell us where we can find you?
Well, it's mostly going to be on Twitter. I do get tons of DMs, which I'm rarely able to reply everything. You'll find me in my private group, the Haven that you mentioned earlier. I probably don't really need to do advertising here. You've had my one of my best friends, Pierre, last week, I believe, who talked quite a lot about our group. And you'll see me in podcasts like yours occasionally.
Thanks for listening. Until next time. Peace.
This episode was brought to you by PrimeXVT, the exchange where you can trade without KYC on legacy markets with your Bitcoin. You can trade commodities like gold, silver, oil, even indexes and forex. Join now and get a 50% bonus on top of your deposit for trading at u.primexvt.com/Panama.